how were we able to get the world's most powerful training cluster operational within 122 days? Because we started off, we actually weren't intending to do a data center ourselves. We were going to just, we went to the data center providers and said how long would it take to have 100,000 GPUs operating coherently in a single location, and we got time frames from 18 to 24 months. So we're like, well, 18 to 24 months, that means losing is a certainty. So the only option was to do it ourselves. So then if you break down the problem, I guess I'm doing like reasoning here, like, makes you think.
One single chain though.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we needed a building. We can't build a building, so we must use an existing building. So we looked for basically for factories that had been abandoned, but the factory was in good shape, like the company had gone bankrupt or something. So we found an Electrolux factory in Memphis. That's why it's in Memphis, home of Elvis, and also one of the oldest. I think it was the capital of ancient Egypt, and it was actually a very nice factory that I don't know, for whatever reason that Electrolux had left, so that gave us shelter for the computers. Then we needed power. We needed at least 120 megawatts at first, but the building only had 15 megawatts, and ultimately for 200,000 GPUs, we needed a quarter gigawatt. So we initially leased a whole bunch of generators. So we have generators on one side of the building, just one trailer after trailer of generators, until we get the utility power to come in. But then we also need cooling. So on the other side of the building, it was just trailer after trailer of cooling. So we leased about a quarter of the mobile cooling capacity of the United States on the other side of the building. Then we needed to get the GPUs all installed, and they're all liquid cooled. So in order to achieve the density necessary, this is a liquid cooled system. So we had to get all the plumbing for the liquid cooling. Nobody had ever done a liquid cooling data center at scale. So this was an incredibly dedicated effort by a very talented team to achieve that outcome. And we think, now it's going to work. Nope. The issue is that the power fluctuations for a GPU cluster are dramatic. So it's like this giant symphony that is taking place. Like imagine having a symphony with 100,000 or 200,000 participants in the symphony, and the whole orchestra will go quiet and loud in 100 milliseconds. And so this caused massive power fluctuation. So then which then caused the generators to lose their minds, and they weren't expecting this. So to buffer the power, we then used Tesla megapacks to smooth out the power. So the megapacks had to be reprogrammed. So with XAI, working with Tesla, we reprogrammed the megapacks to be able to deal with these dramatic power fluctuations to smooth out the power so the computers could actually run properly. And that worked. It was quite tricky. But even at that point, you still have to make the computers all communicate effectively. So all the networking had to be solved, and debugging a zillion network cables, debugging nickel at 4 in the morning. We solved it like
4:20
roughly 4:20 a.m.
Yes, okay.
Was when we figured out like there were a whole bunch of issues. One that was like a BIOS mismatch.
Yeah, the BIOS was not set up correctly.
Yeah.
We had to diff our LSPCI outputs between two different machines. One that was working, one that was not working. Many other things.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. This would go on for a long time if we actually listed all the things. But it's like interesting. It's not like we just magically made it happen. You have to break down the problem, just like Grok does for reasoning, into the constituent elements and then solve each of the constituent elements in order to achieve a coherent training cluster in a period of time that is a small fraction of what anyone else could do it in.
And then once the training cluster was up and running and we could use it, we had to make sure that it actually stays healthy throughout, which is its own giant challenge. And then we had to get every single detail of the training right in order to get a Grok3 level model, which is actually really, really hard. So we don't know if there are any other models out there that have Grok3's capabilities, but whoever trains a model better than Grok3 has to be extremely good at the science of deep learning at every aspect of the engineering. So it's not so easy to pull this off.
And this is now going to be the last cluster we build and last model we train.
Oh yeah, we've already started work on the next cluster, which will be about 5 times the power. So instead of a quarter gigawatt, roughly 1.2 gigawatts. Maybe what's the Back to the Future was? What's the power on do you remember? There's like the Back to the Future car?
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the future power. Sorry. It's like roughly in that order, I think. And these will be the sort of the GB200/300 cluster. Once again, it will be the most powerful training cluster in the world. So we're not like selfing here.
No. And our reasoning model is going to continue to improve by accessing more tools every day. So yeah, we're very excited to share any of the upcoming results with you all.
Yeah, the thing that keeps us going is basically being able to give Grok3 to you, and then seeing the usage go up, seeing everybody enjoy. Grok, that's what really gets us up in the morning. So
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.